Facebook, or hey there, Upcycly, thank you for the alert. We're gonna give Upcycly a shout out. Upcycly likes to take trash and turns it into treasure. So yes, Upcycly crochets. She also takes paper and turns it into. She weaves with it. She takes plastic shopping bags and turns it into plarn and crochets with it. She does all different types of things. And she was one of the featured performers on the Donkey Song collab that I had shown previously. She did her segment was the one with the little baby alien that she crocheted. So go and give her a follow. So that was round 8. I got to go through 15 rounds. Again, this is the types of rounds I like that I don't have to count. These are the mindless rounds. I just go, 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 go. We're going to have an ad here in a minute. And when we are at ad, I need to take a bio break myself. But what I was saying, I don't go out and buy yarn for any of these little projects that I do, either show on stream like this or teach. Rarely do I ever go out and buy yarn for a specific project. That's not how I do it. Normally, I just pull from my stash. Whatever I have laying around, I make it work because I do have a large stash. So I don't need to add, well, I do need to add to my stash because us fiber fiends do like extra fiber, but I really don't need to add to the stash. So, especially some of one of these smaller type projects, I'll see what I have enough of and make it work. That's why I'm not doing this in an orangey color. I'm doing it more in this reddish brown. Sorry, it was around. I had to make sure I did right. Back loop only, mushroom for the curtain tiebacks. These are done very nice, very nice. Yeah, the back loop only you have to pay attention to. Hey there, Thunder of Dragons. Welcome in. We're going to have an ad. So when the ad gets back, I will give Thunder of Dragons a shout out because Thunder of Dragons streams as well. And I'm going to take a bio break. So I'm not going to do a be right back screen. It's going to be real quick. So I will be right back. I'm back. Let me get something to drink. That was round number 9. I lost the stitch. That's fine. I'm not counting, so it's not that big of a deal just to rip out one stitch. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back from that ad. We're going to give Thunder of Dragons a shout out. They are a newer streamer. They crochet. I think they do some other things too. What all do you do, Thunder of Dragons? You don't have any. They don't have any flips yet. What do you do? Bring the music back. It's going good. I am starting on the head and body, and what I was going to do, and I did this earlier. I was going to. I probably still am going to do this. I'm going to make up a lot of the body parts ahead of time, especially the tails. I had to make 9 of these. So I don't know if people want to sit and watch me do the same thing 9 times. Off stream, I'll make a bunch. So I've got, I think there's one more round of the. Where did? I'll have to find my notepad. Oh, I know where it is. But it's going. So I made one, almost on one tail, and now I'm working on the head and the body. So we're barely a kitsune. Barely a kitsune. Um, we did. I did give a little lesson on amigurumi basics, increasing, decreasing, invisible decrease, how to count my little way of counting in the round so you keep track and things are increasing evenly. I have a little mantra I kind of say to myself when I do it. But again, one of the best, your best friends with Amies is your good old stitch marker or anything to march the stitch. Not just an actual commercially bought, purpose built stitch marker. Anything you can use. So, a contrasting piece of yarn, a paper clip, a safety pin, a bobby pin, a little twisty bread tie, anything. Oh, teach the decrease? Okay. I just taught it. I could teach it again. Did you want me to teach it for you? I don't mind doing that. This yarn that I'm using, I think there's some wool content in it because it definitely feels like it might have a little bit of wool in it. And this is more of like a DK weight or maybe a sport weight. So it is a thinner yarn. Someone in my craft group this morning was making a cat cave and the designer instructed decrease to get smaller rounds. Oh, no. I would not skip stitches. Um, oh, you know how to decrease. Do you know the invisible decrease? Yeah, I would not. Yeah, I wouldn't skip stitches because you're gonna have holes in it. I mean, if that's the look, if that's the the style, I get that if it's a design feature, but I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't skip stitches. There are other ways of doing that. But yes, I taught that a little while ago. We made this little. It was going to be a hot dog, but now it's a potato. So, if you were from, like we showed it earlier, if you're familiar with Tatter, you'll know that I've made a whole bunch of potatoes and sent it to her. Welcome back, Supreme. Welcome back. Hopefully, everything's okay. What I was going to suggest to you, and I don't know if you're probably doing it already, even if you're following a digital pattern or a pattern in a book. Hey there, Linda. How are you? And especially if you're following it in a book and you don't want to be marking your book and you want to do the pattern over and over again. I mean, if you print off a copy, you can mark it. But I have scrap paper and I make little tally marks for each round that I do. Like I just finished a round, I'm making a tally mark. Because if not, I can easily get sidetracked. Same thing if it's a pattern that's on a digital pattern. So I know, like, okay, this round, a lot of these rounds are just going around and around. There's no increasing and decreasing. But if there's a pattern, if there's like rounds, I've got multiple rounds, so you do different things, and I get sidetracked. I look over here and I'm like, okay, so I marked off 11. So now I can go look at 12. Okay, what do I have to do at round 12? Or another thing that you can do, another thing, and I don't have any here, on your book, if you have a physical, you can also do this digitally, but it works better physically. And I'm not going to show the whole pattern. You can get a post-it note and post it and stick it right above or below your that round. It was not. This pattern had problems. They were also supposed to do 7 rounds of cutting and reattaching yarn to make the cave hole. What? Oh yeah, there's other ways of doing it. Yes. Yeah, you're already losing track. Yes. So the little tally mark on scratch paper or the post-it note method if you've got post-it notes. I don't have any post-it notes. Cub getting sidetracked? Yeah, never. That never happens. So, Supreme, how is Ship liking his new computer? Ship got a laptop today. It arrived while Supreme was on stream. So now he has a new tool that he can troll everybody. Wait, two? Wait, he got 2 computers? He got 2 new ones? He loves it, yes. It's always fun getting a new, sorry, I put my stitch mark number. So, no, you're fine. No, you put your stitch marker in check. No, that's fine. Actually, if anybody wants to do that, I'm okay with it. It's just random numbers. If that's how if you want to, use my chat as a way to keep track. I mean, I don't know how effective it will be. If it keeps scrolling, you're going to lose it, but stitch marker number in the chat. Could be worse. The sidetracking could be caused by someone trying to convince you to take up chainmail. Chainmail is cool looking. I don't know if I would ever want to make chainmail myself, but I can definitely appreciate that art form. Because I did that earlier, I stopped thinking I would remember, and then I did it. Remember because I laughed. Hey, that's another thing. You can also do put a notepad on your device and type in and mark on your notepad what round you're on. I'm better off with a pen and paper for that. Who would do a thing like it? What was it? Supreme? Was it Supreme that wanted you to take up chainmail? You would never suggest new crap? Yeah, no. You don't. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Oh. Look what the crafty cup did. Or didn't do. All right. Okay. So I gotta go back to round 7. I just did. That was. We're in the middle of 12. I gotta. Okay. You know what? No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm in a round. Okay. If you catch it soon enough, which I don't know. I mean, I'm in the within. I know I didn't go all the way around. If you catch it soon enough, and you are in a round that there is no increasing and decreasing. So if there is no increasing and decreasing, and it's just regular stitching, and you've catched it within a short amount of distance, I would just say, you know what? That is our new first stitch. If it's a round that you have increased and or decreased in, frog back to the last increase and count from there. I mean, you could frog the whole thing all the way back, but I'm not going to. So I don't know how far we've gone. See, that's also because I'm distracted, and I'm not blaming you. I'm the one who's crocheting with the chat. So I never suggest head from sprouts as a new project. Never, because now I'm looking at YouTube for said project. Bunch of enablers. Yes, it's good. It's good to try new things. But that's what I would do. I would just, depending on the on the pattern where you forgot the stitch marker, and it would also help if I had a lighter colored yarn that I can go and see. But this pattern, rounds 8 through 15, it's just regular crochet, and I'm on round 12 right now. It's not going to make a difference if it's got a handful of extra stitches. He's going to have a lopsided head, so make it a design feature. It's not a mistake. Oh, and that's what I want to remind everybody, and I didn't even say that yet, and I've been on for 2 hours. The month of June is Pride Month. I am fundraising for the Trevor Project. It's a nonprofit for suicide prevention for at-risk LGBTQ plus youth. So if you were considering subscribing to my stream, don't do that. Take that money and donate to a good cause. I am part of the LGBTQ community. I've never known anybody that has resorted to suicide, but I don't know the exact statistics. But the rates of suicide in LGBT youth are far higher than the entire general population because of society. So it does it does it's a topic that's close. That's close to my community. So if, like I said, if you were thinking about subscribing, don't don't subscribe and put that money towards the Trevor Project. Not to bring everybody down. I mean, that was a very heavy topic, but fortunately, it's a thing. It's 2024, and unfortunately, that is still a um, thing we deal with. My yarn is splitting because this is not a very tightly wound yarn. This, and again, I think there's some wool content. I think there's wool content in it because I can feel it. It's not scratchy. That's another misconception in the fiber arts, that people think all wool is scratchy. It's not. And that has to do with the micron level. So the larger the micron level, which is basically like microscopic thicknesses, the larger the micron level, the scratchier they are, because they're made up of little scales. So the smaller micron level isn't as scratchy. Also, yes, there are people that are allergic to wool, but majority of people who think they're allergic to wool are probably allergic to the lanolin that's in the wool and not the wool itself. Yep. So, and different breeds have different micron levels. So, if you see anything that is like a merino is a breed, and they tend to have a smaller micron level, so they are much softer and um, silkier feeling. There are other breeds that have more of a coarser um, fiber, and they're bred that way. They're bred that way because, for different reasons, a lot for insulation properties and hard wearing. There's We can go on and on and on and on and on about wool. Spinning instructor said also to do with how the yarn is treated. Yes, after it's been spun, you think their allergies won't be so bad with wool. Yes, yes. I think we talked about that before, Thunder. Um, how it's treated, and if there are possibly any leftover vegetable matter. Now, vegetable matter, and months ago, was it months ago? No, it might have been last year. We did have some videos we watched. I think it was in my Discord on the process of shearing sheep, and all the process that goes from the animal to yarn and vegetable matter. Oh, thank you, Supreme. I appreciate that. Thank you. Um, Vegetable matter is what it says. It's any of the leftover bits that are stuck in the wool from either the animal feeding or bedding down or in the environment, in the barnyard, in the pasture, wherever, and it gets trapped in the wool. And there are processes that when you process the wool that you can remove it. Now, if they're tiny little bits that doesn't all come out, that could be also an allergen. Not You're usually going to get most of that stuff out in the process, and also in the spinning process it could fall out. But that is a possible allergen. But if you think about when you were young and if you had to wear a wool sweater and it was all itchy, it was probably a yarn that had a larger micron level, or however it was treated when it was spun, or after it's been spun, before and after. Because I remember as a kid, I don't even, well, actually, no, that might have even been an acrylic one. Yeah, I think the sweater I had might have, yeah, it was acrylic. But that was because it was a coarse acrylic. Same type of thing. It was a coarser fiber than some of the acrylics we have now. Perfect example with that, and I keep splitting my stitch. Perfect example is, and this is for the North American. I can't speak with other parts of the world because I don't know the brands and the lines they have there, or I've never worked with them. But here in North America, we have Red Heart Super Saver. That's just one line of the Red Heart brand. Red Heart is a bunch of other lines of yarn, but that is like their most famous because it's everywhere and it's economical. That they've gotten better over the years, but it used to be really coarse and scratchy. But then there are other brands, namely, this is a Michaels brand, Loops and Thread Soft Classic, which is still acrylic. It's a lot softer. It's a lot softer, in my opinion, than a Red Heart Super Saver, and I think it's a little cheaper. Yes, they can be itchy. So, if anybody was really getting into yarn and all of that, and they weren't certain, if they're new to it, and they weren't certain, would suggest you go to either a big box store. Mainly, if you're new, go to a big box store because it's affordable, and go and touch the yarn. I'm going to show my age. Back in the day, there was a commercial, Charmin toilet paper, and they had a character named Mr. Whipple, and he was like a grocery store manager, clerk, or whatever, and he would always say, "Don't squeeze the Charmin. Don't squeeze the toilet paper." I encourage you to go in and squeeze the yarn. And you'll find things you like or you don't like. There are all different options that we have. Why is the music so quiet all of a sudden? Okay. Maybe it was that track. That was round 15. Now I can go. Oh, I have to get the safety eyes. I have to get safety eyes. Oh. Supreme, if you're still here, are you doing. You're making a duck. Are you going to be using safety eyes? You might not have safety eyes. You are using safety eyes? Or you are here? You don't have any? Okay, that's fine. You don't have to use safety eyes. When the time comes, and I don't know what your pattern says. I don't know if it says to use safety eyes or other. There are other ways that you can use. There are other things you can use instead of safety eyes. And I recommend this to anybody who's making any toys for young children and you're afraid of the safety eye coming off. Usually they're not, but there's the possibility. You can embroider them. Like this one here, I just made a circle, a black circle,